Hello, Maddie here, and today I'm talking about the 10 hats of business. So as you started your business, you probably started out with an idea or a product or service that you could offer, and you're keen and excited to get going. But as you expand and start to grow, you realise there's a lot more roles and responsibilities than you initially expected. So we call these the 10 hats because it feels like you're taking on and off different hats depending on what role you're carrying out. And you may even start to wonder if you can hand over some hats to other people so you're not doing as much. So what are these 10 hats? So your first three are your shareholder, director and leadership hats. You've then got your product or service development hat, and this is where you're planning and developing and reviewing the products and services that you offer. You've then got your operations hat, and this is where you're actually doing the work that generates the income, and it's the only role that's actually providing the service to your customers. You've then got your marketing hat, which is all about generating leads, and your sales hat, which is all about converting those leads into customers. You've then got a finance hat, which is at someone or your role of managing your cash and keeping the taxman happy. Now, this is one hat that you can hand over, and Pink Pig are more than happy to help with that. So you've also next got your HR hat, and this is where you're motivating your team. Now, you might think, oh, I don't have a team, so I don't need a HR hat, but you still do need to motivate yourself. So the last hat, last but not least, is your admin and IT hat. And these are the admin processes you put in place and the software that you use to maximise your efficiency. So now you know the 10 hats, you might be thinking, what can I hand over? And should you employ someone or should you outsource? Now, this is something that only you can decide after considering your own business model, but we have got some tips for what you can consider. So one of the things we suggest to all businesses is to create an organisation structure along with job descriptions for each of those roles within that structure. We suggest this, even though you might think we're crazy, to suggest it before you've even grown to a point where you need staff. But once you understand what each of these roles mean for your business and how they work together, you'll be able to identify where you need help and make a plan of action. And by being prepared in advance and setting out each of the functions for your business, it will help make it easier for you to grow and expand, especially if that growth happens faster than you expected. That will also help you to determine if the role should be outsourced or if you should take the leap and employ someone. So to help you decide what roles you need to consider your own skill set. And we suggest this because you can look at where you're lacking, what you're good at, what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and then you can fill those gaps of your weaknesses and where you're lacking with people that are really good at those roles. So if you think about the skills that you lack in, it will take you far longer to complete those tasks, and you spend more time thinking about those things than you do actually carrying out the roles of the work and the operations, which is where you generate your income. So the next thing to consider is you've got to determine the roles before you determine the people. So you want to be looking at the role and the tasks they'll be doing, and then you can decide who it is that you need to do that. So what are the benefits of delegating some of these roles? Well, you get better time management. You get a team either made up of employees or outsourced people that are knowledgeable professionals, and they have skills beyond your own, which you can learn from and you can grow, which will help take your business to the next level. You're also less likely to lead to burnout. When you spend far too much time doing things that are causing you stress, you're gonna burn out eventually, which is going to take you away from your business. And then lastly, but most importantly, you can spend more time doing what you love with who you love, which is what Pink Pig is all about. So you might be able to take some time off to spend with your family, or you might be able to pick up that hobby that you haven't had time for recently. So after considering all of these hats, you may decide that you need help with your finance function. So if you do, head over to our website and fill in our quick questionnaire.